Video game writers, I think you need to remind yourself that you are the artist, and you have more control than you think you do. The Hierophant is the first card that came out. It really wanted to come out because as I was shuffling, it was a jumper. So really pay attention to the Hierophant. He is a teacher, speaks of tradition, maybe a leader. Maybe this is you being a leader, because if you look at these people down here, they're like worshiping him. Like if religion is in your world, super cool. But you don't have to go that route. I like to think of it more as tradition. What do people traditionally do in life? They go to school, they get married, they have kids, and then the cycle repeats over. But I just kind of feel like in regards to your video game, what do people traditionally do in the video game world? For some reason, what would blank do? Like, what would Jesus do? What would God do? What would, you know, Katy Perry do? I don't know. However, you're paying attention to, what would they do? We have the Five of Cups here, and it seems like you're in a little bit of a depression mode. It feels a little something that wasn't quite working out. It's a lot harder than you think it's going to be to break in, maybe. I also have the Knight of Wands reversed, and he is about taking action. It feels like you're taking more action on the inside, not necessarily taking action on the outside, or you're feeling a little blocked, which actually makes a little more sense with this Five of Cups. Something to remember is that you have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is all about good luck, good things are coming, keep the wheels turning and keep going, which is going to actually be a really good card for you to pay attention to for a future card. We have the Hanged Man reversed, and the Hanged Man is usually about taking a step back, taking a pause, examining your beliefs, your thoughts, maybe kind of thinking about someone else's point of view. But because this is reversed, I'm going to say you're probably in the right. Keep doing what you're doing. You don't need to change what you're thinking. We have the Queen of Wands, and she demands attention. She loves getting attention from everywhere and everyone. However, when she gets it from one specific person, she kind of backs off unless she's in control, unless she can be the demander. So be a little bit more demanding. You got the Hermit reversed, and the Hermit is usually an older guy who gathers information before sharing it with the world. You're ready to share your information. You're ready to share this idea. You're ready to talk about it. Remember that wheel that we talked about a few cards ago? Well, you got the Artist. And this is a card that's actually not in the traditional tarot deck. This is actually a specific card special for this deck specifically. And I think this is more of a reminder for you to remind yourself that you are the artist, you are the writer. This is a story that you want to write, even if it's for a bigger video game company. You are the artist, you are hired to write the story, and you were hired for a reason. So embrace that, demand that. Here we have the Page of Swords, and I like to think of the pages as production assistants of the tarot. They're usually learning about their specific element. With this, uh, with this card, we are looking at our thoughts and communication. So I'm wondering if you need to consider approaching how to demand what you want. Use this fire here, but consider how to properly voice your actions, voice your concerns, voice your demands. I wouldn't come in with like real high king stuff. Maybe use this as a learning experience on how to demand what you want to demand. The card at the bottom of the deck is the Chariot reversed, and the Chariot is usually about knowing where you're going. And interesting. I originally thought that the card was telling you that you don't feel like you're in control, but if it's reversed, it can be blocked, delayed healing, or internal energy. And I'm actually getting more of a, you're in control. You are in control of where you're taking this project. Something to really keep in mind with this is that you have a lot of major arcana cards on the table. Major arcana cards are like the big lessons of life, whereas the minor arcana is what did I have for breakfast? And you have 5 major arcana cards. So there's going to be some weight to whatever it is that you're working on with this video game, how you're writing it, who's in charge of it, all that kind of stuff. Some insights, some extra insights I want to bring up are that you've got the Chariot, which is the 7, the Hermit, which is the 9. You've got the Wheel, which is the 10, and you have the Hanged Man, which is the 12. So you're in the right trajectory. It just kind of feels like you're skipping steps. It feels like you're not taking a complete A to B. And I know that things go up and down and all that kind of stuff, but taking a little bit more of a traditional route might help you fill in those gaps to make sure that they're smooth sailing with the creativity of this project. The other thing that I also want to bring up is that you got a page, a queen, and a knight. Now, the court cards are usually about people. My practice specifically more focuses on the querent, not the other people around the querent. So originally I was trying to place this onto you. Oh, just getting chills like left and right. But for some reason, I got people around you for this project. Just seems like there's some people you might want to pay attention to, maybe people coming into the project later or who are already involved. I don't know, but that's just what I'm getting from it. The numbers you probably want to pay attention to are 5, 5, 2, 10, 12, 3, 9, 1, and 7. If you add all those up, you get 54. 5 plus 4 equals 9, and 9 is the Hermit in the Major Arcana card. And the Hermit came up here in your spread. So really pay attention to that Hermit. And I'm going to get to a little bit more of that in a second. Elementally, we have earth, air, fire, and water. Air, which is our thoughts and communication, is your weakest link. Again, the page. It feels like you've been approaching thoughts more creatively, and you might need to take a step back and actually do some stuff more traditionally. So again, like I said, the Hierophant really wants to tell you something because it dropped out of the deck as I was shuffling. You have the Artist here, which is a card that is traditionally not in the tarot deck, and you need to remind yourself that you are the artist, you are the writer. And again, the Hermit really wants to say something because it came up twice in the numbers here. So astrology wise, you are probably going to want to pay attention to Venus and Taurus in association with the Hierophant, Virgo and Mercury, which is associated with the Hermit, and that Artist card. The colors you might want to pay attention to for this are going to be white and green. This deck is going to be a little interesting in order to find color because it has a very specific like 5 colors to use. But the white came up with this shooting star situation. And then green came up just mostly from and the green came up mostly from like these plants here. But you've got green here. You've got green actually here in this one as well. Green here. So green just seems to be kind of there, but also not as prominent. And that's more of the colors I like to look for because it just might bring up something that we're not paying attention to. I do pull 3 extra cards. We've got Rescue reversed. It feels like maybe no one's coming to rescue you, or you know that you can rescue yourself. It could also have to do something with the project. Maybe somebody in the project shouldn't be rescued. Maybe it's time to use a character as a story plot point to get the story to move forward. Rabbit. Go to your latest scene. How does your protagonist view the events? How did it change them or make them double down on not changing? I'm Chris, and my expertise helps screenwriters and authors complete 3 to 8 detailed outlines in less than a year. You could probably write more. It just kind of depends on what your process is. But I'm here to help. If you want to take this a little bit further, I do have a 15-minute free exercise in the link in my bio. And there you can actually write a complete story, beginning, middle, and end in less than 15 minutes using tarot cards with me as your guide. I do have all of these decks behind me that I use for different reasons. If an author comes to me with a mermaid story, I have a mermaid deck. If they come to me with a pirate story, I have a pirate deck. Dragons, I have a dragon deck. It seems a little bit more fantasy, but there are some things that are not as fantasy based, such as the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. I believe that the tarot helps writers get more into their world as they are writing it, and also helps them see their world before they write a single word. With that, I'd like to invite you to like, subscribe, follow, and share, and I will see you in the next one.